CDPR claims The Witcher 4 will tackle a woman's struggle in a medieval world. The Witcher 4 directors claim that using Ciri as their main protagonist will allow the team to explore the specific struggle of a female monster hunter in a medieval world. But is medieval sexism something anyone was asking for in a fantasy RPG game heading into 2025? Hey guys, Mizuki here. Let's talk about The Witcher 4 because CD Projekt Red just dropped some spicy details and oh boy, we need to pack this. Apparently, our girl Ciri is taking center stage as we already know, and the devs are really leaning into medieval sexism as a narrative theme. Yeah, you heard that right! CDPR decided that what we're all craving in our monster slaying, magic slaying RPGs is a deep dive into the struggles of being a woman in a world where people still think lesions are medicine. Groundbreaking, right? So, here is the deal. The directors of the game, Sebastian Kalemba and Philip Weber, basically said that this isn't just Geralt, but make it blunt. They want to explore Ciri's journey not just as a character, but as a woman becoming a witcher. Apparently, this includes dealing with how the world around her reacts to her being a female monster hunter. I guess saving people from literal death machines with teeth isn't enough street cred if you're rocking ovaries. They are hyped this up as a chance for players to define Ciri and shape who she becomes. Sounds cool in theory, but then they start talking about how her story is going to touch on gender politics and violence against women because, you know, that's what everyone asked for in a fantasy game. Sure, tackle tough politics is a dark world, after all, but do we really need to make this the focal point? I mean, I thought the whole point of The Witcher was escapism, not a lecture series on medieval sociology. And look, I get it, The Witcher universe is greedy, ugly, and unfair to pretty much everyone. Non-humans face racism, sorceresses trade fertility for power, and Geralt himself gets treated like dirty half the time. But do we really want a game that feels like it's trying to win an award for best historical accuracy in gender studies? Aren't we here for the swords, sorcery, and the snack one-liners? Also, shout out to the inevitable internet drama. Some people are mad about Ciri replacing Geralt, and others are mad that people are mad. It's chaos, but honestly, my biggest concern isn't that Ciri is the lead, it's that CDPR might lose focus. Instead of giving us an epic journey about a badass slashing monster and navigating morally grey dilemmas, they are over here planning a TED Talk about patriarchy in a world with griffins. Now let's see what Philip Weber actually said about all of this in the conversation with Eurogamer about sexism in the world of The Witcher. The outlet asked, "The experience of a woman is actively quite a significant theme in The Witcher in a lot of different forms. The women of this world are subjected to a lot of violence. They are heavily sexualized in different ways. There is the kind of the deal with the devil that sorceresses have to make when they lose their fertility and so on." Watching the trailer, it seemed to maybe channel this. There is Ciri, a woman, trying and failing to save another woman from more of this universe violence, right? Is that an intentional theme that you were channeling with the trailer? And also, is it something you're intentionally looking to explore in the game? The experience of a woman in particular through Ciri's eyes in this world? Weber replied, "I mean, I would say the world of The Witcher is a really dark one that's really inspired by, of course, dark fantasy folklore, but also medieval to early Renaissance story. And that is a word that was tough. Tough for many different groups, women among them. As an example, in The Witcher, we also deal a lot with racism when it comes to non-humans, and this is something that we want to keep up with The Witcher 4. I think it's something that has always been really important. We make games for adults, and it also means that we tackle some difficult topics. We tackle them in interesting ways. We tackle them without giving easy answers, but often opening difficult questions that players have to answer. And I think some of those questions might be going in this direction as well. Because, yeah, Siri is a woman, and as a witcher in this world, this is an unusual state. So I don't think it's going to be this story everywhere. But since this is a part of this world, and we want to tackle so many of those different themes, it's definitely also going to appear there as well. After that, do we still have any doubts? Let's not forget how AAA games with modern-day masses have been landing lately. Remember that one game everyone refunded because it turned out to be less fun than Jiridari? People don't mind meaningful stories, but there is a fine line between tough-provoking and preachy, and trust me, gamers will sniff it out. But before we go any further, I would take this brief moment here to thank you all my patrons that support my work here on YouTube, and especially my first Retail Fox Tire member, Heath Rowell, for the incredible support to my work. Now, let's get the obvious out of the way. Yes, the world of The Witcher is greedy and unfair. Always has been. The series has done a solid job addressing things like racism towards non-humans and the bleakness of medieval life without turning into a soapbox lecture. But now it seems like CDPR might be teetering on the edge of turning series epic adventure into medieval feminism 101, and honestly, if you wanted modern political debates, we just scroll Twitter. Here's the deal, this isn't about hating on a female protagonist. Siri is a fantastic character with loads of potential. She's not some cardboard cutout. They've got real lore to work with here. But when you hear phrases like gender politics and explore sexism being tossed around in developer interviews, it starts to feel like they are more interested in making headlines than making a great game. And that, my dear foxes and viewers, is how you risk alienating your core audience. You know, the people who just want to slice up monsters and wrestle with morally questionable choices without a side of sociology class. Let's take a step back and look at recent gaming history. Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon Age The Veilguards, and other titles that leaned too hard into message-driven storytelling got absolutely roasted, and not the fun kind, like over a campfire. Players bounced because, shocker, nobody wants to spend $70 on a game that feels more like a lecture than an adventure. Compare that to the hype trends of Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, and Space Marine 2, games that are unapologetically about fun, action, and just being cool. It's not rocket science, guys. People play games to escape, not to debate. Now, let's be fair. If handled well, this whole sexism theme could add depth. Siri's journey to a world that doesn't expect or want her to succeed as a witcher. That's some juicy narrative potential, but the key word is subtle. Make it part of the world, not the entire point. The minute you start waving a big neon, "Look how woke we are" sign, you're risking an eye-roll epidemic. And trust me, gamers have excellent eye-rolling muscles after the last few years of AAA launches. At the end of the day, CDPR's challenge is clear. Make series story compelling, not condescending. Keep the sexism as an authentic backdrop, not the main course. Because the moment The Witcher 4 starts feeling more like a cultural manifesto than an epic fantasy RPG, the player base is going to bounce faster than you can say Roach is stuck on the roof again. So, what do you guys think? Are you ready to tackle sexism with your silver sword, or do you just want to bash monsters and collect loot like the good old days? Let me know in the comments, and while you're at it, subscribe if you haven't yet, and consider support this fox here on Patreon, okay? I mean, someone has to keep CDPR honest, and it might as well be your favorite fox right here, with 5 tails and 0 patience for bad storytelling. See you guys in the comment section. Happy New Year! Bye!